Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Ninjago Jay's Golden Dragon Motorbike. This is set number 71768. It has 137 pieces and I paid $20 for this set. Now, I recently did a video about a different Ninjago set, the Crystal King set, that I got for a really good deal on sale. And this one was not on sale. It is, again, one of the very few Ninjago sets that I've ever bought. I've bought a couple $10 Ninjago sets, and I believe one of them was a J set as well. And then the Crystal King set with Lloyd, and I have maybe one other one as well, but I'm excited to take a look at this for a few different reasons. First, I like all the gold. It looks like there's a lot of gold elements in here. I really liked, if this is the tire that I think it is, except with a gold rim there, I'm really excited about that. And I don't know if the back tire is the same, but I'm interested in seeing what this set has to offer. So in this video, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put it together. And while I build this set, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to give my thoughts. So, until then, enjoy! Okay, so that is this Lego Ninjago Jay's Golden Dragon Motorbike set. This is okay. I think I must have, well, maybe not. I might have a version of Jay from a different set, a $10 set that had like gold and blue, I believe, and some of the same gold stuff, and it was an Evo kind of jet type, glider type looking thing. So I might have to compare this to that, but for this video I'm just going to be looking at this and kind of giving my thoughts on it. My initial feeling is that this is okay. I think there's good play value here. I'm not super thrilled about the display value, but I'll talk, well, I mean, no, there is good value there too, but I'll talk about all the specifics as we go through. The first thing we can take a look at is the minifigures. This first minifigure here, I believe, is a Vengestone warrior. Now I have one of these already because of the Crystal King set that I did recently, and I really, really like this figure. This is one that has mismatched arms, one kind of gunmetal, one kind of translucent accessory here. The great shaped, dual molded Vengestone kind of dragon head there. Awesome printing with the kind of abdominals up to the chest and different details up there, kind of some metallic details in there. Printing on the midsection, printing on the legs and the feet, and mismatched legs with kind of the gunmetal gray and the translucent here. Very, very cool. The back has a sort of vein-like pattern here and follows that crystalline kind of nature. Really, really like these minifigures. Happy to have more after being so impressed by them from the Crystal King set. And then the next minifigure is Jay. And I don't know if this is an exclusive version of Jay. It feels like it might be. This is an interesting minifigure. I wasn't sure what I thought about it at first, because as you can see, there's a lot of translucent going on here. There's also the wings. The wings are a nice mold. There's some good gradient in here. Uses the gold elements on the end there, which is nice. They're attached in a fairly basic way, but effective. They're kind of coming off there. But I'm going to pop them off just for the looking closer at this J figure. And they have some kind of accessory here that is chained together. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a nunchuck kind of, but these are a cool mold. It's kind of almost like a blade or something in a dragon shape. And this set comes with a whole bunch of accessories that are also all in gold. I'm assuming because they come in kind of a pre-packaged pack, similar to some of the elements from like a Spider-Man set, web elements, or different elements that I've seen in DC Batman sets. But I will take off these wings here, and we can get a better look at Jay. So we have printing on the torso, and it's pretty good. I really like all the detail in here, and the color is pretty nice. It's kind of this bluish, purplish, dark blue kind of color. Printing in the midsection, which continues there, and then printing down on the legs, but these legs are translucent and very much so. I think I would have preferred them if they were a little darker, not as translucent, because I think some of the printing and some of the detail in here gets lost. Maybe it's my minifigure, but feels like the printing on the legs is kind of blurry and faded almost, and it just looks like there's some details that are missing there and get washed out because of how translucent these are. So that's a bummer for me. I would have liked to be able to see kind of more of this pattern extend down to the legs and everything else. It looks kind of weird and disjointed to me. It almost looks like my printing wasn't complete the way some of these lines terminate and then restart here. So that's a bummer, but the torso and the midsection are all good. Translucent arms, very cool. Turning to the back, we have this shoulder piece element that the wings clip into, so I will remove that. Turning to the back, we get maybe Jay's kind of symbol or emblem or whatever, and kind of this almost lightning, reminds me of fractals, but isn't quite there, kind of chaotic pattern at the back, and that's fine. Take a look at this helmet piece, mask, helmet, both kind of has that dragon styling there, looks like gold to me, dual molded with the same kind of translucent there. That's a pretty good helmet. I'm happy with that. No printing on it. It could use maybe some printing, but pretty cool. And then the face here is on a translucent minifigure head. And again, I kind of wish it was a little more opaque instead of so transparent where you can see the neck kind of piece coming up through from the torso. And some of the detail on these lines around the face get lost. So I don't know if this is like Evo J or, some kind of energized J, or the lightning J that is the why it's translucent and why it appears the way it does. But I wasn't the biggest fan of that or the legs for this one. It just doesn't feel as good to me as some other Ninjago minifigures I've seen. But with the helmet on, it's not a terrible effect. It looks okay there, but I do think some of the lines get a little lost because of how transparent the headpiece is there. But if this is an exclusive minifigure, I'm not sure if it is. It might be in other sets. It is cool. It's a cool idea. I wish it was done a little better, or at least just done a little differently, and it would have met my tastes a little more. But it's pretty cool, and it's unique. I don't see minifigures with like wings that are this big very often, and that's pretty cool. These wings are neat. I actually didn't know if they were part of the bike or part of the minifigure. I was surprised to learn part of the minifigure. So very, very interesting. I will just show the extra gold accessories that this comes with. The instructions did not have me use any additional ones of these, but in some Lego Ninjago Evo sets, you do kind of equipped a thing out with more parts, but this is nice. I'm happy to have these. So we get two kind of scythe or sickle type things, kind of having that dragon head there. That's a cool mold. We get two of these. They look like batarangs, but maybe not, but boomerang type kind of things in the gold. Happy to have that. We get two more kind of more scimitar type blades almost in the gold. Nice mold, kind of dragon, crystal-y, whatever. I like those. And then we get three tri-pointed, like, throwing stars or something like that. Some other Ninjago accessory. Happy to have those. The next thing we'll take a look at is this buildable little critter here, and I think it's supposed to be a crystal spider, 6 legs, not 8, so I don't know if it's arachnid in nature. Yeah, it's a simple build, has some of these nice crystalline pieces there that fits well with the Vengestone Warrior and the Crystal King set, so that's really nice. It doesn't really look like a natural thing to me. It looks more mechanical, and maybe that's true, but I thought it was supposed to be like, gemstone-y and stuff. This piece for the kind of face or the front of it doesn't really work that well for me. Apparently I did this wrong, and this is supposed to overhang a little bit. That's a little better. That's a little better. Sure. I do like this piece in the kind of gunmetal here, darker gunmetal maybe, and same for all these clips. That is nice, and actually for this bottom octagonal piece there is pretty cool, and always good to have different colors of translucent stuff, different pieces. Pretty simple, doesn't add a ton of value to me for the set, but for play, it could potentially add a lot to have another kind of sidekick for the villainous characters, I presume. Maybe this can add a lot, and yeah, it can stand on its own and whatever, so fine. And then the next thing, kind of the main deal of this set, is Jay's golden dragon motorbike. So it's like a motorcycle type thing. Uses this wheel. I love these wheels, these dual molded, like the rubber on the outside and the hard plastic on the inside. I've seen them in, for example, the vintage motorcycle set, which I really, really liked that it came with some of those, and I would love to get more of these, especially with the gold on the inside. That's really, really cool. At the back, I didn't know if it was going to be the same type of wheel as the front, but it is much, much bigger. I don't know what these tires are used for, but it uses, I think, kind of special molded gold pieces to for the rim and for holding the wheel together. It comes together in a nice way, and that's very cool, and it spins pretty well, and so does the front one, which I always check, which makes play really good. Seems like good grip. There's a lot of air in this one, so there's a lot of give, and I don't know if the weight is enough that if it were to rest on this rubber for too long, if it would affect it over time. Probably. These wheels feel like they probably aren't going to have trouble if they're resting on these wheels up here, but this one has a lot of give to it. You can see I can just push it in there, and these wheels at the front, I can't do that at all. I thought this would be more angled. It's very flat. There's a little bit of rake just because of the how big the back wheel is. And then we get, more gold kind of long details here. This piece, which I don't think I've seen before, unless I've seen it in other Ninjago pieces. It's nice to have that in gold. It's kind of like a similar piece that I've seen in many, many other sets, but it has these extra molded parts in there. We can see some of the Technic that holds it together. Get a little gunmetal on there, or this darkish gray metal kind of stuff. Over at the side, pretty much the same, but we do have this dark bluish gray. I think this is supposed to act as a kickstand, and it can be folded in different ways, so it's out of the way during play. It could be popped off during play, but I believe it's supposed to help keep this upright when it's standing, or when it's resting. We can see on the top there is some positions for a minifigure to sit or stand on this motorbike. I believe probably standing, but I'm not positive. This is kind of a metallic handlebar here, which is nice. And you can see from this angle the stickers that are in this set. There are 3 stickers. One right here on the front, and one on each of these sloped elements. I actually thought that this was going to be a print. The $10 Evo glider jet thing that I keep referencing, it's a different Ninjago set that I had, I believe had prints, not a sticker there, so I was kind of hoping to see that. And then we have this, which is supposed to be like the dragon head. I mean, all of this is supposed to be the dragon head, I believe. So this is a dual molded piece with gold and that translucent there. It clips on, it has some studs at the top, and it can move a bit, so it opens up. I don't know if I thought there was like an action feature that was supposed to like pop Jay off of his bike when this opened, but it doesn't appear to be that. So it's just opening. This gold piece is really nice under here. I like that. It's like a tulip petal type piece, but it's a smaller one than I normally see. I've seen 2x2 and 2x3 or 2x4 versions of it, like the longer one on the Spider, but this is a very, very short one. Nice. And then this whole piece is fine. I don't know how expensive it is, or if all of these are exclusive, or what the deal is. And then towards the back we get a couple molded lightning pieces here. So I don't know how much value it adds, or how much money it costs extra to have kind of unique pieces like this in a set. This is a $20 set and only has 137 pieces. So the vintage motorcycle that I'm kind of comparing it to, because it had the same wheel, at least this one, was I think $15 and 120 some pieces. Didn't come with a minifigure, wasn't really minifigure scale. This comes with 2 minifigures, pretty good ones. I mean, I really like these Vengestone minifigures. This J1 is cool. It could be better, but there is obviously a lot of value in the minifigures themselves and all the accessories and everything else. So comparing it to that, this feels like a pretty good set comparing it to that Vintage Motorcycle Creator 3-in-1. I think there is a lot of play here. As far as display goes, maybe. If there's other sets in this line, in the Ninjago crystallized line, maybe it's really, really good and would look cool alongside more of those. It looks pretty cool for a relatively simple, relatively low amount of pieces build. I will show the extra pieces here. Yeah, they're about what you would expect. Some Technic stuff, an extra gold barb, and an extra gold of this Technic tubular piece there, and then two of the translucent, one of the kind of pyramid conical things, and one of the rounded tile. So fine, not a ton of extras, but good. But then you do get all the extras of these gold accessories here. So $20, and now I'm sort of basing this on what I think of the $10 Ninjago sets I've done, one of which had 90 some pieces for a car, and one which had, I think, 120 or 130 pieces, including some gold and a minifigure of that jet thing. So almost similar to this, but this has more molded pieces, more unique pieces that I haven't encountered before. The tire, the really good kind of tire, and this bigger back kind of tire with the gold kind of rim construction thing there. So it's kind of in line with that. If I compare this to the Crystal King, I paid $40 for that, but it retails at $80. So now I'm either like, is this worth half of what I paid for the Crystal King? Or is this worth a quarter of what I paid for the Crystal King? And that's minifigures and side build and this bike included. And I'm not sure. I guess $20 feels about right. I think $15 would be great, but two minifigures and some special parts. So I like it kind of lines up for me. That $20 makes sense. I always wish Lego were cheaper. And as far as what this feels like, what it feels like to me is about $15. But I can't deny the value that these wings and this dragon head and this big wheel and this wheel and all these and the minifigures, I can't deny all the value that they add. I wish these were prints, and wish maybe this was done in a slightly different way, but pretty good. And as far as the minifigure goes, I had some issue with how mine came out. Maybe they all look like this, I'm not sure, but I wish maybe the legs were kind of almost like the translucent that's maybe more frosted. And I will try to show the comparison here. So the arms are almost like a frosted kind of sandblasted looking thing. So they're a little more opaque and a little hard to see through. And I wish these weren't just so stark and clear. I kind of would like them to look more like frosted glass. And that's actually the same with the head. I wish that was more of a frosted, translucent look there. But yeah, that's okay. So this set's all right. I don't know a ton about Ninjago. I've felt like Ninjago has good value. I got the Crystal King for a steal. This I paid retail for, and I'm thinking I am interested in more Ninjago. I do want to get more. I love these minifigures that I've gotten so far. I can't wait to find out more about the different characters. And I think I'm going to end up getting more Ninjago. So if this and those little or $10 sets and the Crystal King, I think they did enough to like get me into interest in another line of Lego that before I was kind of like take it or leave it, wasn't terribly interested in it, but now I feel pretty good about it. I do like a lot of what I've seen here, so this is pretty good. Could be cheaper, and I have some minor complaints, but still feels pretty good. So I'm glad I got this, glad I got to experience it, and I'm happy to have it. So this was nice. If you like this video, consider giving it a like, and if you like the videos on my channel, consider subscribing to it so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I will be doing in the future, including most likely more Ninjago sets and a bunch of other LEGO stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of those upcoming videos, and until next time, thanks. Bye.